Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this online lecture series. This is Neha Pradeep Joshi. In this video, I am going to cover one poem which is there for second semester. Previously, we have dealt with three poems so far in previous semester. One is Cherry Tree, second is Sower, and third one is There Is Another Sky. Now we are going to see Upon Westminster Bridge. Okay, now this is a poem. Let me give you one hint or a tip for specifically dealing with any kind of poem. When you come across the title, try to understand the significance or any hidden idea or message uh, in that title. Okay, you can always comment on significance of title while writing appreciation or while writing descriptive answers. Okay, now this consider this title, Upon Westminster Bridge. Hmm? Even if you have no idea about it, you can guess it easily that it is about a bridge. Okay, there must be some kind of observation, a poetic expression of an observation. You can easily guess that. But what is this Westminster Bridge? Let me show you an image of that first, and then we'll. All right. Now, here on your screen, you can see this image. This is a bridge, Westminster Bridge, and there is a building, a great building, an old structured building. Huh? Now, when you see this bridge, you might think that yeah, it is okay. It is a magnificent bridge, a great structure, might be an old structure. But why is it so important? आपणही नॉर्मली असे ब्रिजेस पाहिलेले आहेत. देन वाय दिस इज सो इम्पॉर्टंट. नाव देर इज अन हिस्ट्री, देर इज अ हिस्ट्री अटॅच्ड to it. Now, this building that you see is actually a building of House of Parliament of Britain. Okay, so this bridge is basically the oldest surviving bridge structure in London, and this bridge connects the city of London to Houses of Parliament. Okay, that's why Westminster Bridge has that glory attached to it, that it is uh, a connection between the people of London and Houses of Parliament. Okay, that's why it is a part, it is a major tourist destination and a major pride of the city of London. Okay, so maybe the poet must have been to this place. He must have observed everything, and in the poem, he has given his poetic expression and his observations. Now, let us go to that part. Okay, but while writing the appreciation, you can comment or you can add this point over there as well, that Westminster Bridge connects city of London to both the houses of British Parliament, and it is built upon river Thames. Thames, river Thames. Okay, additional information ahe, but still if you add it, it will be much better. Now let us go to the actual poem. All right, now here on your screen you can see the image of textbook. Initially there are icebreakers, there are some points given there for initial discussion. Okay, now nothing from this part is asked in exam, but still we deal with it to have some kind of background of the actual text. Okay, so see the first question. A bridge connects people at either sides of a river or valleys in cities or villages. Discuss with your partner the importance of a bridge to both the cities and the villages and complete the table. Okay, now bridges are very important kind of structure in either village or in a city. In city, mostly they connect different parts of city, and they handle a larger amount of traffic. But in villages, they are more the significance is felt more in villages, because they connect mountains, valleys, or distant areas with the cities. They have a significance from trade point of view, right? So you can just make points like this and write it down. Do it as a personal response, okay? Then second, building a bridge needs careful planning. Think about what goes on before the actual construction begins. Now again, uh, this is not going to be there in your exam, but still, just think about it. Or you can use these icebreakers for speaking activity or writing activity. Okay. Um Now, think about what goes on before the actual construction begin. What do you have to think before constructing a bridge? First of all, there should be a proper planning. Then we have to think about what kind of traffic will be handled by that bridge. Then maybe any kind of environment related factor that has to be considered, right? Then any see if it is near riverside or some place, then the people who are living there right now, what are we going to do with them? uh, so there are a lot of things involved, or even what kind of material is going to be used while building the bridge. Okay, so these things are taken into consideration before actual construction of a bridge. Okay, now this third one is like mind map. Do it on your own, it is not anything critical. Sites that can be seen from a bridge, you can easily attempt this, but do it as a fun activity. Then, now let us come to the actual poem. Before starting the poem, let us see introduction of the poet. William Wordsworth, born on April 7th, 1770, was a major English romantic poet who was honored poet laureate of the United Kingdom in the court of Queen Victoria from 1843 until his death on 23rd April 1850. Okay, now this person, William Wordsworth, is one of the major poets in English. Now here it is mentioned that he was romantic poet. Huh? Uh, when we hear the word romantic, we generally think that there is one hero, then there is a heroine, and there is a love story. That kind of romantic is one thing, but it is not just limited to that. Romantic is basically appreciating the beauty that you see around yourself. That is romantic. Okay, so in throughout his writing, this person, Wordsworth, he has uh, you know expressed his love for nature. He has appreciated the beauty that he saw around himself. That's why he is called as romantic poet. आता ही हिस्ट्री तुम्हाला माहिती असायची गरज नाही मे बी, बट स्टिल ही विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ अँड another poet, S.T. Coleridge, Samuel Taylor Coleridge. These two people are given credit for starting romantic period in English literature. Okay, their names are taken with a lot of respect for the major contribution that they have given for English literature, uh, specifically for poetry. Okay, he is leading English nature poet. His collection of poetry, Lyrical Ballads, is considered to be a central work of romantic literary theory. Hmm? As I told you, romantic is not just about a love story or two people. It is about appreciating the beauty of everything that you see. Okay. The poem Upon Westminster Bridge is one of the best examples of his romantic poems. हां, आता हे इमॅजिन करा की रोमॅन्टिक म्हणजे आता एखाद्या ब्रिजबद्दल लिहिली आहे तर ती रोमॅन्टिक कशी होईल, बिकॉज इट इज अबाउट ॲप्रिशिएटिंग द ब्युटी म्हणून. हे लक्षात ठेवायचं. रोमॅन्टिक डज नॉट हॅव ओनली दॅट शॅलो मिनिंग ऑफ लव्ह स्टोरी ऑर टू पीपल. इट हॅज अ वायडर significance attached to it. Okay, now the second paragraph. आता हे कायम लक्षात ठेवा, when you deal with an introduction, the second paragraph of that introduction is very important. You can use it as it is while writing the appreciation of a poem. Because second paragraph is always specifically about the poem only. सो ह्या लाईन्स तुम्ही यूज करू शकता. अपॉन वेस्टमिन्स्टर ब्रिज इज अ पेट्रार्कन सॉनेट in which William Wordsworth describes the beauty of the city as seen at dawn from Westminster Bridge, London. Okay, so it is in London upon River Thames, and this poem is actually a sonnet. If you remember the previous poem, There is Another Sky, that was also a sonnet. And this Petrarch was the famous Italian sonneteer. Petrarch was a poet who wrote many sonnets. So he was called sonneteer and he was from Italy. So he had that particular style and Wordsworth followed his style. Therefore, this poem is Petrarchan sonnet. The poet was enthralled, excited by the one moment. Okay, sorry for that. Let us continue. The poet was enthralled, excited by the panoramic landscape, beauty, calm, and quiet nature before him. Okay, this poem was first published in the collection of poems in 2 volumes in 1807. ओके, आता ही थर्ड लाईन किंवा हे काही यूज करायची गरज नाही आहे, बट दीज 2 lines upon Westminster Bridge and the poet was enthralled, you can use it while commenting on title or the theme. Okay, so use the material which is there but present it in another form. Okay, this is the logic that you should apply while writing the answers or while attempting anything based upon the poem. Okay, now let us see the poem first. Upon Westminster Bridge. Earth has not anything to show more fair. Dull would he be of soul who could pass by a sight so touching in its majesty. The city now doth like a garment wear the beauty of the morning silent bear. If let me just stop here. If you see this, then you can even while listening you can easily feel that there is some kind of rhyme scheme to this poem. It is not that simple like ABAB or CD or something like that, but there is some kind of lyrical quality or musical quality to this poem. Okay, he goes on appreciating everything that he sees around himself. Okay, and this is a morning time, remember this. Okay, so there must be everything very serene and silent, no traffic, no people, just fog and that sweetness or coldness of the morning, and he is observing everything. The city which is always full of activity is right now very silent. So he is observing whatever is there. Earth, the city now doth is does. हे archaic English आहे, doth or doth. Okay, both way it is correct. This city now doth like a garment wear the beauty of the morning silent bear. ships, towers, domes, theaters, and temples lie, open unto the fields and to the sky. Okay, now what does he see around himself? Ships, towers, domes, theaters, and temples. Okay, um, if you remember the image that I have shown you previously, तर तुम्ही हे इमॅजिन करू शकता की once you are on a bridge, you see lot of things around you, and that has a different kind of effect, right? Even imagine kara, when you roam around in a city, even in Chipun after 11 or 12 p.m. At night, then definitely that has a different kind of influence, or that gives rise to different kind of emotions, because normally you see a city which is full of activity, hustle and bustle, but at night or early in the morning everything is quiet. So that pictorial quality has a different kind of impact upon your mind. Okay, so here he is right now on that bridge and he is observing everything around him. There are ships, towers, domes is that building which has that half circular structure, that is called dome. uh, Imagine or visualize Taj Mahal, Gol Ghumat, that is dome, half circular structure, dome. Okay, theaters, temples lie open unto the fields and to the sky. Okay, all bright and glittering in the smokeless air. Okay, now all these structures are very magnificent and they are glittering, they are shining. Okay, glittering is basically shining in the smokeless air. Huh? Now why smokeless air? Because he is observing everything early in the morning. So as there is no traffic, there is no smoke, because there are no vehicles right now. So everything is glittering in the smokeless air. Okay, how beautifully he is conveying his observation. Never did the sun more beautifully steep in his first splendor valley, rock, or hill. Okay, now here he goes on describing what he sees. Another thing, uh, early in the morning, sunshine, and how everything is sparkling because of that. Uh, Never did sun more beautifully steep. Now, steep is here saturate or cover. Okay, so now sun is covering everything in his first splendor, valley, rock, or hill. Okay, uh, never now here, even though it is written as NEER, it is actually never saw I, never felt a calm so deep. Okay, visualize this. Imagine that you are in that position and you are watching all those buildings, you are upon a bridge, and there is this early morning sunshine. So definitely you are somehow emotional, or you are musing. This is normally what happens with us as well. And this person was a poet, so definitely he could express his emotions in this way. Never saw I, never felt a calm so deep. आता हा इन्फ्लुएन्स होतोच. Imagine that when you see your own city in a very quiet mood or in a very calm condition, that definitely has a different kind of impact upon your mind. Okay, the river glides at his own sweet will. Okay, now previously he talked about different buildings that he sees, then about the sunshine, and right now about the river. Okay, the nearby objects, he is describing them. The river glides at his own sweet will. आता ग्लाइड हे सुद्धा अगेन आर्केइक इंग्लिश आहे. old English. Glide is basically what, when something is floating. Huh? Have you seen angels or something like that on television? Not in real life, definitely, but in television they show that an angel comes from heaven or from the sky, and that movement is gliding, right? Floating around. The angel does not walk, right? It floats, or it like flies but not actually flying. This is called gliding. Okay. Moving around in a very swift manner. The river, now he's saying that the river Thames glideth at his own sweet will. Okay. River does not have any restriction, any limits. It has its own rules, and that is, uh, at his own sweet will the river is gliding. हां, आता एक हा कल्चरल डिफरन्स लक्षात घ्या, की हिअर रिव्हरला प्रोनाउन कुठलं यूज केलंय बघा. द रिव्हर ग्लाइड ॲट हिज ओन स्वीट विल. सो रिव्हर इज मस्क्युलिन देर इन इंग्लिश. हा, इवन जर्मनमध्ये सुद्धा देर फ्लूस म्हणतात. देर फ्लूस इज तो, ह्या अर्थी. हा, मॅस्क्युलिन आहे. आणि इन मराठी वी कॉल इट ती नदी. बट इन इंग्लिश it is not it is not given a female quality but a masculine quality. So the river glides at his own sweet will. Okay, so nature is at its own will. It does not have any control by any another person upon him, and nature is just at its own will and handling everything in its own power. Okay. Dear God, the very houses seem asleep, and all that mighty heart is lying still. Huh? So in the end, he says that the very houses, okay, everyone in the city is right now sleeping. And all that mighty heart is lying still. Mighty heart is what? A collective heart, or the collective identity of London. So right now London is lying still. Okay, so all the people of London who are uh, busy from morning till the very night, they all are asleep. So that mighty heart is lying still. Okay, so if you see that in this poem, um basically it is not a complicated kind of or any kind of lengthy poem. There are different kind of objects which are mentioned here, and basically what is there in this poem is basically observations. This poet William Wordsworth is upon a bridge, Westminster Bridge, early in the morning, and he sees everything around him, and he goes on describing the beauty of city London early in the morning, how the city appears early in the morning. Okay, so there, and why he is saying this? Because everybody must be watching this city, or everybody must be passing through that or from that bridge, right? But nobody must have paid that much attention to the beauty around them. But poet is a different kind of a being who has that sensibility to appreciate everything. Okay, so therefore initially he says that dull would be he would he be of a soul who could pass by a sight so touching in its majesty, right? Ki if you are not able to appreciate this beauty, then definitely your soul is also dull. Okay, so find the happiness in small objects. This is what he wants to convey as well. And then he goes on describing how the city appears, how beautiful it is, how serene it is early in the morning. Okay, first he mentions the objects like ships, towers, domes, theaters, temples. Then he mentions another quality, which is smokeless air. Now this quality can be observed only early in the morning, because throughout the day when there is a traffic you cannot observe this, right? So therefore he can see or feel all the splendor around him. Okay. And this calmness has a very emotional or psychological impact upon him. Then he mentions another object, another natural object, river, which is gliding at its own sweet will. And finally, he comments that the mighty heart of London is right now very asleep and it is lying still. Okay, so throughout the poem, you can observe that he has appreciated the morning setting, and he describes various objects, maybe natural, maybe man-made, both kind of objects those are around him. And it is basically a nature poem. Okay, even though it is about a upon a bridge, but it is not about a bridge, it is about the nature that is around there. Okay. Now what you can do is, first of all, make a paraphrase. Okay. uh, just break it into sentences. Try to make sentences, maybe five or six, not more than that. But what is there in the poem, just write down in a sentences. If you cannot do it, then I'll send it to you. पण तसं करा. So while writing the brainstorming exercises, that will be helpful. Now I don't think that there is anything complicated in this poem, but try to appreciate the beauty of words as well, how beautifully he has expressed everything. Okay, he does not use any heavy words or big words, but still the meaning is very touching or very appealing. So this is a quality of a good literature. Okay, so I think that there is nothing which is which requires a lot of attention over here, or much more explanation than this. But into next few lectures I'll talk about brainstorming exercises, about paraphrase and appreciation. I'll suggest you to go through this poem once again. If you have any doubt, you can ask me anytime. So as an activity, first complete this icebreakers, then read the poem once again, and then write a paraphrase, a summary in 5 to 6 lines of what is there in the poem. Itka kara, and then we'll start brainstorming exercises from the next lecture. Thank you for your attention. Have a great day ahead. We'll stop here today. Thank you.